Good Life Nation, and welcome to our Tuesday call. Matt Landau, your president, and the one and only
Mark Seaforth. I'm here, guys, and looking forward to another, I think, a very interesting call.
Oh, an amazing call, and coming from an amazing week, guys. We came back from Cuba. Hello to all of our friends, all of our IBO friends that were there with us. Man, how fun was that?
That was a blast. I was telling a lot of people, for me, it was such an experience because it was like, going back in time 60 years. I mean, when you came into the port and you saw all those old cars from the 50s and stuff, and there's so many, you just felt like, wow, it's like I've actually gone back in a time machine to see something. But it was an amazing trip, and the IBOs that came, we all had a great time, a lot of fun, did a lot of work too.
Absolutely.
We definitely did some work and made it very worthwhile for everybody, and I think hopefully everybody came away from that trip like we did, very enthused.
Guys, we laughed, we partied, but we shared, we bonded, we shared a lot of great moments, and we learned a lot. And I think all of you guys that were on the trip, we got it. We know the feeling, and I think everybody out there can't wait to, if you're going to join us in the next one.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the next one for a second before we get into all the kind of detail stuff. Let's talk about some fun stuff first.
We got a lot of fun stuff. So everybody was so excited, and it was such a positive trip, and we were able to learn and share that we immediately went on the trip to where's next? What's the next one? So we've got it already set, and go ahead. I know you like to make your announcements.
No, I like this. This is fun, man. I like living the good life.
That's it.
And we want everybody to live a good life. That's the whole idea here, guys, is that let's everybody go to work, build, have fun, build this thing up. And then we're going to go to Vegas. That's going to be the next one. It's going to be either the last week in November or the first week in, the last week in October or the first week in November. We'll see how it all, plays out. But we're definitely going to Vegas. It should be a huge turnout.
Yep.
And we've had a couple of our top IBOs promise literally thousands. I won't say who they were, but I think it can be done.
Yeah, and that was one of the cool things about the trip is there was a sense of history. It was, a small group of us, and we all knew that this was the first time, and that the next time it was going to be bigger. And the next time it's going to be bigger and bigger. So this one coming next is going to be much bigger than the last one. And we're gonna put it in a spot where we can get everybody out here. We can all really share a good time.
Yeah, and have a lot of fun. And I'm going to talk about on Thursday's call I'll be doing about how you can win a free trip to Vegas. So join me on Thursday if you want to find that out.
Oh yeah.
So let's get into some of the meat here. Matt's going to talk about some of today's things that are going on. I'm going to actually share a little bit of the vision for the rest of the year.
Yep. And so, we want to talk about today and tomorrow, and this is a theme we started talking about on the cruise, actually, and some of you guys have already heard some of these wonderful announcements that we did debut on the cruise, but we want to now kind of share with everybody. And first and foremost, I want everybody to know kind of where we are right now. And we are in an incredibly exciting time with this company. We're hitting all of the marks that we've talked about as far as getting the new platform in place and putting in all the data and all that kind of wonderful stuff, and looking at it and feeling around and kind of realizing what kind of things need to happen. So, there's a couple of three areas that I wanted to address specifically that are critically important because we know as a company, and you guys know as IBOs how important they are. And the number one most important thing that I want to talk about is customer service. So we have made, as we sit here tonight, we have made big changes already in customer service. We talked about, on the cruise, we talked about what we're building as far as customer service. We don't want to just insert some kind of generic solution. We are going to be building a customized customer service solution for all of us, one that suits all of our very specific needs for this company. And quite simply, you have IBOs who have questions in their various phases of their IBO-ness. You have VIP card users who know virtually nothing about the company other than the card, and you have members, customer members who have questions about either the member benefits or particular bookings and things like that. So we have very unique needs from a customer service standpoint. So the solutions that we've been working on for some time are starting to come together, and actually what we've done is we've expedited it too. So we're going to be outsourcing our customer service, not necessarily outsourcing, but building a facility in Asheville, North Carolina, where we are going to have a team of customer service reps managed and directly relating to us. And so we've got those pieces in place. But what we've done now is we've actually removed our existing customer service head. We've placed a new customer service director in place. We've got new seats coming in, and we've got agents that are going to
tell them
here.
the one thing everybody really wants to hear.
Well, what you're going to see, I was getting there.
That's what everybody really wants to hear.
Well, here's what's happening. We're bringing in agents tomorrow morning. We're going to have 5 new agents here tomorrow morning, and they have one goal and one goal only, and that's to make sure that every phone call is answered. Every phone call is answered. So we are going to be committed to getting those calls answered. This quick kind of short-term placement is designed to accomplish that while we continue to build.
Did you hear those cheers?
I think I can hear it.
I think I did
too. The ceilings are rumbling a little bit.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, just to add a little note here, remember, they're not going to be highly trained yet. So please don't everybody, I mentioned this on a call we have with the leaders the other night, don't have everybody calling just to check it out. Please give us a little time to work with these folks, get them up to speed. So let's not,
Yeah. And what we're doing is we're going through all the tickets and calls and everything, all the issues that we have now, a lot of which have been eradicated by, the things that are happening here on a daily basis and the things I'm going to continue to tell you. But we've been addressing all of those. We wanted to have courteous, bodies, people here to be able to answer these calls so you get a sense and you understand what's going on, that you can, you have a question, you have a call, it's being addressed by a live individual in real time. Right. And we're committed to that.
Yeah, and the only other thing we're going to ask everybody to do too is just, give us about a week. If you would, if everybody kind of back off a little bit with all the support, because a lot of the things that you're probably going to be asking in support tickets or calling are already being addressed, already being fixed, already being done. We saw that on a call we did the other night. 99% probably, or 95% of everything everybody's talking about was already done, but not at the time that when the person was calling in. So if you can give us that week, because we're moving at a pretty rapid pace to clean up everything. The VIP cards to the, to every little issue and little thing we had to do when we switched this platform. So just if you give us a week, that would really be helpful.
Well, yeah.
If you can.
If you have a call that's an urgent nature, of course we want you to call. But we are putting in some pieces right now that exist as we speak that are going to be addressing the customer service situation in a very real, very actual, very scalable way. And this is a piece that is going to be one of those foundational pieces for us as we continue to grow. We've got to have that core. Oh, he needs his coffee. Am I boring you?
No. I don't want to make John. You can't see my coffee, can you?
Yeah. The consummate professional over here.
And they told me to get it off the screen, so there it is. See, it's off the screen again.
Is it? Okay, good. Well done. Thanks. Okay, you good?
I'm good. Let's continue. Don't be too serious here. It's the good life.
Customer service is a core principle, and it's got to be a foundational piece of this company, and what we're building is going to suit that, and you're going to see that as soon as tomorrow morning. So be excited about that. We are truly excited about that. The other area I want to address has been around the VIP cards and what's going on with the VIP cards, because a lot of people, when we switch to the platform, are freaking out, pulling their hair out, going, oh my God, I don't see the ranges, I don't see my orders, I can't activate. And that's true. Some of them you couldn't see, but you are going to see them now. And the reason why you couldn't see these things had to do with the movement of the data from the old system to the new system. The programming was sound. We knew that. We knew what it was going to do. But we also knew that putting the data in was going to take a little bit of time. In fact, it had to be done in sweeps, what we call data dumps. And so we had to put the first round of data in there. We had to refine it. Then we had to gather the next round, and we refined it and put it in there. And what happens is if that round of data isn't in there, you're not going to see all the things that you think you should see with your cards and your activation and all that sort of stuff. And so
therein the reason for waiting and give us a week to get it all in there and nice and clean for you.
And I've literally watched the data, the numbers, because I'm tracking the actual numbers in the data, and I've watched it go from millions to hundreds of thousands to tens of thousands as far as the data that needs to be cleaned up. So we're just about there. I'm here to say we're just about there, and over the next, I'd say, couple of days, keep checking. Don't freak out. Give it a couple more days, because you're going to see your cards in there. You're going to see the activations. You're going to see, if you saw a small number of activations, there's a good likelihood you're going to see a higher number of activations as that data continues to go in there and refine. So rest assured, it's not missing. It's not gone. It's just part of this kind of tedious conversion process, and we are just about there. Another issue that people had called kind of freaking out, which is actually solved by the data issue I just told you, had to do with people not being able to access the benefits or not seeing the hotel tabs, be it from an activation standpoint or from their memberships, and said, oh my goodness, it's missing. if you and why some of those activation and access issues existed. One had to do with the data being put in, and so that's going to be fixing itself as the days proceed. But also it had to do with, we realized with the new layout of the site, it wasn't that hard, it wasn't that easy to figure out where everything was.
Yeah, so we're making those changes, and I already have with some simple things like your accessing your benefits.
Yeah, if you go to
big old orange button now.
If you remember what it was before, it was kind of hidden off on the left-hand side and a little sub tab right there. Now we made it a big old giant orange button right there.
Yeah, because a lot of people would go in, they go hit the platinum benefits, thinking, "Where's my access? Where's my benefits?" They don't see them. It was just a little confusing, but it's been corrected and addressed and fixed, and so those are the kind of things we'll be doing, consistently now we've got the site and the platform up.
So guys, I mean, those are the big changes that I think are important for everybody to be on the same page about over the next few days, because that's the majority of everybody's concern at this point. It has to do with what's going on, where is it, and then why aren't the phones getting answered? Well, now you know where it is, and the phones are getting answered, and boy, oh boy, it's exciting to see now the new platform in place, to have gone through one commission run, one bonus run. We've got another commission run, and we're starting to get this thing moving. We're starting to actually use it. We're starting to see things. You're starting to see that legacy tree and starting to see some of the power of that. And that's something Mark's going to be talking about and training on later. But so this is a really exciting time today that we're at here at Good Life, and I want to hand it off to this guy and let him tell you about where we're headed, because that's even more, it's nothing compared to what he's going to tell you.
All right, here's where we're at. We've gone through a lot. We went through this whole thing with this platform, which is amazing that it's done. It's built. It's a very robust platform. Again, we told you from the very beginning, the idea was to have something that would be, equivalent to a Facebook or a Google out there, with its ability to be able to put in literally millions and millions of members. Because again, our plan from the very beginning, and it has not changed, our vision has not changed, is we're going to be building a $1 billion company, guys. And I said it to some leaders the other night, and I mean this in all sincerity. We're not out here to build a little $10 million company. We're already at that level right now on an annual basis, way past that. I'm interested in building a $1 billion company. You know why? Because we can. We actually can. We're in a business that's trillions of dollars every year. We have a unique platform unlike anybody else has got out there. We've got the most unique compensation plan. We've got the unbelievable marketing tools and the VIP club card. We've got the ability to expand country to country at a very rapid pace. So we are going to build a $1 billion company. And if you put in that in perspective of where you sit right now, it can't get much better. I mean, you got to put aside some of these little issues, and that's sometimes I tell people, they're so, well, this happened, I didn't get my cars, I lost that. That's going to happen at the early stage. It will happen. We're going to have those issues. But you have to kind of take your eye off that sometimes. The old thing, you can't see the forest for the trees. Yeah, well, you got to kind of open up that vision and look at where we're going, because you're part of it. I mean, if you're sitting in that legacy tree right now, you're part of the future of this company, and you're sitting in a position that one day you'll look back, it might be 2 years from now, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years ago. Oh my gosh, look what has happened on a worldwide basis, and look where I sit in this legacy tree.
And it's so cool with the tree now. I mean, you see what it is, but you don't really get any perspective until you start to see months go by.
Yeah, now when I'm getting ready to tell you guys, what I'm getting ready to share with you right now, so let's look at what's going to happen between now and the end of the year. Well, obviously in May, we switched the platform. We talked about that. In June, which we're just gone through right now, we've been making all these necessary changes, all the tweaks, fixing all the things you heard Matt talking about, all that stuff done. We've actually launched the legacy tree. It's there, it's working, it's paying. And again, I told the leaders the other night, you got to understand, guys, if you look at what the legacy tree pays today, you've already lost. Because that's not what it was about. The legacy tree is about your future. It's about your retirement. It's about, could I be in a position in a couple of years to never have to work again? Well, the answer is yeah, you will be. And so you've just got to be a part of this, and you've got to help us build it, and by sharing the dream and the message of what we're doing here at the Good Life. Because we've got the plan, we've got the vehicle, and so it's just a matter of you sharing it.
We talked about May and June, and we know that's today.
That's today.
Take a breath. I want you to hear month by month what's coming.
All right, let me get into what's going on.
There's no rest. There's no rest.
Okay, so in July, you know what's happening in July? In July, we're going to be introducing the vacation destinations. That means this card now became so valuable, because when a person takes the card now, they're going to be able to go and on one trip, one destination, they'll use up their entire $200 savings. And guess what that means to you guys?
Guys, and this is that inventory that we've discussed, and so few people have really had a chance to dive into it. This inventory of tens of thousands of properties around the world, luxury resort properties on in resorts at the most wonderful places. They don't build resorts in places that aren't magnificent.
No, that's right. So resorts are resorts, and that's what they're 4.5, 5-star resorts
with every amenity and the comforts of home. And you can now go and the prices on their own as a member or
just
insane.
Ludicrous.
Now a VIP card recipient can get that. They can use it and they can actually save it, and they can save $200 in one swoop.
And one swoop, and that's going to happen over and over again. And remember, you can't get these vacation destinations anywhere. They don't exist, guys. You can't go to Expedia or Priceline or Trivago or any of the other places and get it. You can't go anywhere to get them. They don't exist. Now you can go directly to the resorts and do them. And matter of fact, well, you know what people will do? They'll go check them, but they're going to see unbelievable prices. Yeah. We're talking about anywhere from $1,200 to $3,000 a week that we're going to be out there for $500, $600, $700.
Yeah, maybe you could join one of those timeshare clubs that spend tens and thousands.
Yeah, why would you do that? Yeah.
I mean,
I feel sorry for timeshare owners now when they see this. They go, wait a minute.
We have their properties in our inventory.
Yeah,
I mean, they're there.
Yeah, and when our people go use these, you don't have to. You're not doing a timeshare presentation. You just get to go use the resort. You get to pay for something. You get the enjoyment that somebody else is paying for.
Yeah.
So obviously that's being added. So that happens in July. After July 4th is actually when that all goes live. There'll be a separate tab under the hotels. When the person goes in, they'll be able to go in and see the vacation destination. Also, by the end of July, I got a lot to cover, so I got to start moving this along.
Go for it.
Yeah. At the end of July, we're going to add the Dream Destination dollars. Now, what is that all about? Well, that means you're going to have real dollars that you're going to be accumulating every time as an IBO, as a member, silver, gold, platinum. You book a hotel, you're going to be creating Dream dollars that you can turn around. Now, besides the pricing you already get, and use them dollar for dollar to go anywhere in the world, travel, and do anything you want. In addition to that, as other people use it, it's going to create CV, and you're going to get paid CV into the legacy tree. So all of a sudden, again, those people in the legacy tree are going to see Dream dollars being added to their dollars. Dream destination dollars added to there. And these are real, guys. This is real dollars. And you start accumulating these things, and you can use them on trips anywhere in the world.
And I can't wait to roll out the materials to really, really show you guys this, because these are real. They have real value. Yeah, you can really use these things, and they generate.
I'll tell you how good they are. If you decide you don't want to use them for travel, you can cash them in. And once you get over a certain amount, because we don't want you accumulating too many of them, you get over a certain dollar amount, I think it's $3,000, and you say, well, I can't use that many, I can't go on that many vacations. Well, guess what? You can cash them out at 75 cents on the dollar. So if you just want to take cash instead of taking trips, that's up to you. But I think most will be using it for trips all over the world.
A lot of really exciting stuff.
All right, I got through July. I got to keep going. I got to get to the end of the year here. Okay, now August. What's happening in August? In August, we're going to launch the Fortune 500 platform. What is that? That is the major platform we're creating for all these big Fortune 500 companies that want this card. But they want it very simple. They don't want to see GoodLife. They don't want to see the networking side. But what they want is they want the membership. They want the ability to access and use it. Yep. And what do you guys care? Because you're still going to get paid when this happens. And right now we've got companies lining up to do this. And guys, you got to keep this in mind. Forget maybe one of these companies is not in your downline right now, because if it isn't today, it will be tomorrow. But just imagine if it is right now, and some of these big companies come on board that literally have millions and millions of customers they're going to put this card out to. Do you know what would happen to your income? I mean, again, guys, we're going to be creating a credibility here and a platform unlike anything anybody's ever seen. Yep. So, again, that happens. Now, I'll also be launching the B2B platform, with that, which will be for all middle America businesses and stuff out there, where they want it just like this. They want the idea of, hey, we'll let the customer know, hey, you're going to save $200, but if you decide to do this as a business, come on board. We'd love to have you, and they're going to do it that way. So you'll have that in place. Also in August, just a little small thing, we open the Philippines. Yeah. Oh, what is that going to do for the legacy tree? We open the Philippines, and that's the gateway to Asia, and you guys are sitting here, and all of a sudden, you have people in the Philippines coming into the legacy tree. It's a one world genealogy.
There's a few that are pretty excited over there.
Yeah, you got that? Yeah. So that happens in August. And by the way, for us to say we're open in August, understand we've been over there for almost a month, almost 2 months now, building and putting this in place. We're building the customer service. We're building our executive offices over there. We're building them. We're setting everything up to make it all work. I mean, it's not like you just flip the switch, even though we can get in there pretty easily.
A lot of groundwork that's been
going on. And a lot of money still.
A lot of money. But we're doing what what it takes to build it the right way and to put those pieces in place, and it's happening. I wouldn't let him say that unless I had known, unless I knew that it was happening.
All right, so that's August. All right, nothing going on. Now, October through December, what's going to be happening there is we're going to be opening a couple more countries. Right now, it looks like the 2 countries we will try to get open before the end of the year are Mexico and Dominican Republic. I mean, we had a guy that was on our cruise with us, Frank, shout out to you, and he's a diplomat there in DR, and he's already said, Mark, when you're ready, 5,000 people, I'll line them up when the time comes to go in DR, and so we've committed to him that we would do it this year.
Amazing leaders that I've been talking to about Mexico on the regular, and you guys know who you are, and we appreciate, I think we're putting it together.
Really so in October, December, we opened Mexico and Dominican Republic. Again, legacy tree. I don't know. Maybe people are going to start to get with this. See, for me, I lay in bed every night thinking, wow, if everybody really understood what's going to happen as legacy tree over the next couple of years, they wouldn't be sleeping at night, and they'd really be working. But a lot of you aren't really working that hard yet, and I think it is because you maybe you haven't quite grasped it. So I even told the leaders the other night, I said, this is my fault, because evidently I'm not doing a very good job of making sure everybody understands how big this really is and what's going to happen, but we'll try to do better.
It isn't for lack of enthusiasm and excitement, I'll tell you that.
All right, so the last thing, and this is probably the biggest announcement of all.
Yeah.
It actually is. This is actually, well, you know what? I'm not even going to make the announcement tonight. I'm actually going to hold it till Thursday. I thought about making it tonight, but I'm going to wait till Thursday, because the announcement I'm going to make on Thursday night is really, I would say, probably the biggest announcement we've made since we came up with the idea of the VIP club card, which was pretty big. So it's that big. It's going to make that much difference to everybody. So you know what? I'm going to hold that to Thursday. So you might want to be on the call Thursday night if you want to hear what that's all about. And let me tell you what I'm going to do on that call Thursday night. Besides this huge historical announcement, I'm going to be talking about how to take advantage of these VIP clubs, a little bit about how to activate them, how to get them activated, not just handing them out, but to get them activated. I'm going to talk a little bit about training on the legacy tree, so you'll understand that a little bit better. Also, we're going to talk about the top 15 spots in the legacy tree and extending that contest a little bit longer, because we want people going to work and earning the right to be in one of those top 15 spots, because it's going to be a nice serious check, because the check is going to go all the way back to May 1st.
Yeah, you guys I want you to understand and appreciate what that really means.
Yeah.
We're going to take some time to really get into that on Thursday.
So we'll do that. We're going to talk about that, the top 15 spots, how you qualify for one of those in addition to the spot you already have, how the legacy tree works. And then the last thing I'm going to cover is, Vegas. Besides everybody being able to go in Vegas, we're going to have some contest here. We're going to run some contests, and so that a lot of you can win a free trip to Vegas. So that'll be happening as well. So if you think Thursday's important, and it's going to be, this was an exciting call. To me, a very exciting call, but Thursday is just going to be that much better.
It's going to be amazing. I want to put in there real quick. It's going to be on the same link that we sent you for this call tonight. We will send an email out, just letting you all know. But the Thursday night, as if this wasn't enough, Thursday. We got Thursday to keep you up. All right, think about that. Guys, we appreciate everything we're doing together, that we are doing together. We appreciate you. We hope you have a great week. Take care and God bless. Good night.
Good night, everybody.